manager Raw position. And Braun Strowman, if he wins, gets his title shot against Brock Lesnar. So, Mike, that leaves me to asking you, which option is going to be more beneficial for Raw in the long run? Having Baron Corbin as permanent GM or having Braun Strowman get his Universal title shot that he's probably just going to lose to Brock Lesnar?
I honestly don't see how... Actually, now I'm rethinking this. I was going to say, I don't really see how Baron Corbin being the GM is going to help serve Raw in the long term, but they need that heel kind of figure, and he's been the best heel on Raw, honestly. Can you agree?
He's better than Drew McIntyre.
I think he's been a better heel. He hasn't been like the bigger superstar. I think he's portrayed the heel best, and people want to boo him the most.
Okay, that's fair.
I think Drew McIntyre is the biggest star, but if Braun Strowman wins, I would like to see Braun Strowman versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, or I'd like to see Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Any of those would be awesome. I just don't... I'm just thinking about your question. It's kind of a hard question, because I don't know what would be the bigger long-term deal. I guess I would say the best long-term would be for Baron Corbin to win, because I think Raw really needs their heels. And I don't really see how one match between Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar really gets it going. What do you think?
I kind of have to agree with you. I really wanted to say that I think it's going to be like, I think it would be better in the long run if Braun Strowman wins, because he can win the title off Brock Lesnar, and we can get a better GM for Raw than Baron Corbin. But then I was kind of thinking about it, and I was like, well, like, Baron Corbin hasn't been that terrible, to be honest with you. And I'm not sure how much good giving Braun Strowman another, shot at the Universal title just to get buried again would really do for him or anything else. So, I mean, I think Corbin winning in the long run is the best option, to be honest with you.
Yeah, in terms of long-term booking, I don't see how Braun Strowman, who has no momentum right now, is going to be the guy to beat Brock Lesnar. I mean, his babyface status isn't very good. He had it a while ago. I mean, right now it's just kind of dead. No one's really excited. Maybe it's just because of the feud he's in. But I don't see him being able to carry a feud with Brock Lesnar. And you really kind of need someone to carry a feud with him.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't think that Braun Strowman has like the momentum to knock off Brock Lesnar.
I think Finn Balor would be a better choice right now, honestly.
Okay.
I would say after that, and obviously you got Seth or Dean, but Seth and Dean are dealing with their own things, and that's what you need, those real big mid-card feuds, but you need those top stars that can also challenge for the championship, and when you don't have your championship weekly, it's a little harder to fill up a 3-hour show. First, I don't understand how you fill up a 3-hour show and your champion's not even there, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm still trying to run the numbers on that one, but they're still not coming out. I'll get back to y'all on that one.
They haven't filled it out in a while.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whatever. If you put them on SmackDown, maybe it is easier to fill it because you have extra people more time, and then you can actually have a championship that fills in for time. But whatever, I'm not the producer. I'm not doing all that shit. That's someone else. So let's go on to the next match.
So let's go to the United States title match now. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev. Mike, I think this is Rusev's time. I think it's finally about to be Rusev Day.
I would love it to be Rusev Day. I wish it was... Man, we were just talking about Braun Strowman and how he should have been the most over guy 6 months ago. Rusev Day was the most over thing going into WrestleMania, at Royal Rumble, at Money in the Bank. He had the momentum. And they just didn't pull the trigger. And now here you are like, what do we do with Rusev? I think Rusev's a great guy to take the U.S. title off Nakamura. I think they can put on a great championship. I kind of like what Nakamura is doing with the U.S. title, though. And I don't know. I see if you take the title off Nakamura, I don't really know what you do with him. If you don't put the title on Rusev, I don't know what you do with him. So it feels just like a lose-lose. You just replace one guy and give him a feud, and then you take the other guy and say, we don't really have anything for you.
Dude, I don't know. I really feel like Nakamura's run as U.S. champion has been so underwhelming that putting Rusev back in there to not necessarily like bring it back to like prestige, but like just bring it back to relevancy at least. Like I feel like they could do so much with like Rusev as champion. Plus, he's like I still think. I mean, did you see his promo last week? He was so over when he hopped back in and was talking about his double decker taco traps. I mean, come on then. And he like jumped back in the frame to do his Rusev day. Like everyone was going nuts. Like
it was
people
fun.
that like are saying people that are saying that he's like no longer over have not been watching SmackDown. Like he's not as over as he used to be. Like I'm not gonna kid myself there. But the man is still over. Like
that's over. I wouldn't say he's over. He has his fan base. I'm not saying he's over. He's definitely not over.
He's over.
He's not over. You gotta be over to be over.
Come on, he's not the. I'm
not over. He ain't over.
He's not like the man over or anything like that. But like, he's over.
I think our definitions of over are different.
We might have a fundamental error.
My over. You got to be one of the greats to be over, and he just.
Oh, okay.
You got to be Becky Lynch. You got to be Daniel Bryan. You got to be Charlotte to be over right now.
You got to be the man.
Those are the three that I think are over. Seth might be over. Seth's like right there.
Seth Rollins is eternally over, though. Is the
Seth
thing.
Rollins is right there at the over. He's like at the line.
Seth Rollins is over just because every time the dude steps in the ring, he just fucking delivers an amazing match. That's why he's over.
I don't know if AJ Styles is over either, and we'll get in that match in a minute. But every kid loves AJ Styles, so I guess he's over.
Yeah, I mean, okay. You can't like say that that's your definition for over then because everyone I know that loves AJ Styles is under the age of 15 years old. So I mean, come on.
That's true, but he is over. He has the biggest fan base, and they all cheer for him. And that's part of being over.
I mean, okay, I guess you're not wrong. I guess you're actually probably more right than I originally thought when you put it that way.
Anyway, let's go to the next match.
All right, well, we're going to go to the match that should be a TLC match in my book. The Bar versus the New Day versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Mike, I think if they made this a tables, ladders, and chairs match, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think it could be better than TLC's 1 or 2 between the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and the Hardys.
It could definitely be up there, but oh man, that's just such a hard match to beat. All those matches are hard to beat. All of those guys just had the chemistry. They played it perfectly. These three also have the chemistry, though. I don't know. I think when the Bar, Edge, Christian, and Hardys did it, they were so much younger than these teams. They weren't necessarily, like, established tag teams. These guys were, like, good tag teams for, like, a year. I don't even know how long the Dudleys were in WWE before they came out. The Edge and Christian were doing the Brood. The Hardys were, like, kind of doing the... They got, like, involved with Gangrel. I don't know. I mean, like, that's the difference. The New Day, the Usos have been in doing the tag team thing forever. Cesaro and Sheamus have been a tag team relatively newly, but they've also had their singles runs. And then you got the New Day, who's been around for about 3 years, it feels like.
The New Day's been around for forever. Just for a little reference, the Dudleys have been in WWE for like 4 years before TLC won. So
are you no? Because they were in ECW before then.
96 is when they debuted in WWE.
Really?
Yep.
It felt like they were in ECW. I thought they were like ECW till like 98.
No, they were in. They debuted April 13th, 1996. I'm looking at it right here.
All right. Well, you keep talking because I don't know if that's exactly accurate. Well, I believe that's accurate, but I feel like they still had their ECW stuff.
Wait a minute. Okay. You're absolutely right. It was 1999. You're right. I'm very, very sorry. I was looking at the wrong stat. I'd like to apologize to everyone right there. The stats department fucked up. They sent me wrong information, even though I am the stats department. So
it's okay. It's okay. It happens.
You're right. It was 99. They debuted in WWE.
What was the 96 stat?
That was when they debuted in WCW.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. They were young. They were just young, and they built new teams. They kind of they made them stars And like these guys are already kind of already have like their fan bases. They're already stars in that realm.
But I would argue that these three teams together have more chemistry than any other competitors on the roster in WWE right now. And I'm going to go ahead and say including NXT in there too, which I know is a big thing for me to say because I literally will talk about NXT like it should be the third brand of WWE, which it should be. However, I don't know. I just think that with these teams having the chemistry that they have and just knowing all of the like really good matches these teams have put on over the course of the years, like, I mean, everyone talks about the New Day and the Usos just having classic matches, and then of course the New Day and the Bar too. The Usos and the Bar not really so much together them, but I mean, imagine putting all three of them together and then give them tables, ladders, and chairs to start jumping off of and hang those tag belts on the top. You would see callbacks to TLC's 1 and 2. I know you would see some wild spots. I mean, I think it'd be just absolutely insane. I think based on like nostalgia and then just some crazy spots you would get, I think it would surpass TLC's 1 and 2.
I think the wrestling would be better. I don't think the spots would be bigger because you're not going to up the spots of the Dudleys. You're definitely not upping the spots of Jeff fucking Hardy.
Okay, all right. I'll give you that one. You're never going to up a spot from Jeff Hardy. I'll give you that.
Edge and Christian, they had spots too, and they're young. That's what I'm saying. When you're young, you can do those spots a little easier. The match is going to be... The wrestling's going to be better. I don't know if the match necessarily will be better.
I guess that's why I kind of think it's going to be better, because I know the wrestling's going to be better, so I assume it's going to be a better match.
They do have the chemistry. I just don't think they're going to be able to top the spots and the dramatics. But I mean, it would be such a good match. I agree.
Yeah, I really hope they put it in as a TLC match, because I feel like if they don't, they're going to waste a huge opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great match either way. Tag team's really great. Actually, I want to point out one more thing. I think a preview show match we could see. As we're recording this, they haven't announced it, but I think they're going to do Gable and Bobby Roode versus AOP as a pre-show match.
Yeah, I mean, not really a whole lot to talk about there. I was like on board originally for like Gable and Roode as a tag team because at least it gave them something to do. But like with 3 fucking hours and no Universal Champion, you could both put them in a feud with somebody. I mean,
I agree. The tag team's so bad. The Revival need to be pushed. And then
the Revival need to be the tag team. The Revival and AOP, God, think about the matches they could actually put on if you gave them time.
The AOP has no fucking charisma. Revival hasn't been given a chance, and then you're just kind of Lucha House Party. They can go crazy. That'd be a great TLC triple threat match right there. But
I'll tell you what's happening right now. As soon as you make the Revival start losing to Lucha House Party on a regular basis, that's when you know you fucked your tag team division.
I don't know who else they have in that division, honestly. That's the thing. You don't have any charisma there. The Revival's your only team, and you can't really make... You can make the heel AOP versus the Revival as faces, but the Revival are not faces.
No, they're not.
Anyway, I guess that's why I kind of want to see Gable and Roode continue in the division. But, I mean, they do need them. They've already wasted away those 2 talents, though, and this is like kind of the only thing they've had. So I don't really want them to mess them up. Give them the tag team championships. Let everyone chase them.
I mean, if you need some top faces, you know you fucked up because you had Heath Slater and Rhino. You had Rhino retire last week. So I mean, there was your faces. I'll tell you right now, that was them.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't that bad as SmackDown champions. People liked them. They had fun. The B team, you guys had the B team over at one point. And now look at this tag team.
The B team was never over. I will die on that hilltop. The B team was never over, and they never should have won the fucking tag team titles.
The B team was over for like The B team was over for like a month or 2. They were very over. B team. Rah, rah, rah.
As soon as they started fucking doing that, as soon as they started doing that shit, I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm out.
B team was over for a little bit.
Fuck the B team. All right, we're moving on.
There's a potential chance that Matt Hardy returns to Raw, though, as a tag team with Bray Wyatt.